it is not every day that many people employed in what is considered to be fairly comfortable professional jobs throw in the towel to join the murky waters of business. The story is, however, different for Mike Nsereko, who is a software engineer.
Studied software engineering at university. My first job, I worked with UN, the refugee agents. I worked there for 2 years, and I was in charge of electronic data processing as an EDP, and I was working under Project Profile. It was a project that was meant to profile all refugees within Uganda, either for repatriation or resettlement to third countries.
Nsereko's first interface with the private sector business world was in a fairly new line of business process outsourcing.
While in the telecom industry, I came across something called outsourcing insourcing, where you are in Uganda but you're providing services to people in the US, in the UK, Europe, Australia. Soon I was introduced to a lady from Philippines, and together we started an online company that was providing services online for clients in the US, in Europe, Australia. It went on smoothly. I didn't have to leave home. I had a home office. All I needed was an internet connection and a laptop. We provided a range of services, mainly web related or blog related.
While this was an early money-making opportunity that came with less strife, in it, Nsereko also experienced for the first time the realities of doing business in what has today become a global village.
You know, the outsourcing industry, 70% of it is provided by Indians, and Indians are way smart. So on most of the bids, we were outcompeted, and it wasn't a venture to go.
It is against this background that he decided to try something new.
I had to resort to opening up something in Uganda, and by then, the ICT industry had really grown, and there was a reasonable market. That's when, in 2009, I registered Max Online Services.
But while the business process outsourcing line did not work for him for long, it opened doors which helped propel him into another line of trade, a development he fondly refers to as the power of networking and exposure.
There was very good market for ICT products. The fact that I had been in the market before, I could evaluate the market. So I decided to start a company to provide IT services in Uganda.
Today, Nsereko's company offers a range of both online and offline ICT-related services. His inspiration to join this line of trade, he says, was the urge to achieve and the prior exposure he had got.
When we were studying ICT, we were being trained to be job creators. Actually, in the first semester, I remember Mr. Kumar. I studied at Sikimanipo University, so the names are Indian. He told us that a laptop or a computer is going to be your work tool. Well, you can use it for fun or entertainment, but it's always going to be your work tool. And while we were there, we were put to task to produce different products. It's because of that empowered me with skills. And when I joined UN, it was a very good place to work, by the way. Everything is organized. They introduced me also to modern working methods. From UN is where I really got smart about work and how to focus on your job. That, combined with the skills attained from university, I was able to look at the market and determine where can I provide a service.
Today, he has managed to utilize what, under normal circumstances, is considered just a pastime social networking platform into a business platform and indeed a money-making machine.
Social networks have mainly been user content generated, in that you or me, we upload information, photos, whatever, text, and then we comment and share that. Now, the tide is turning. Social networks have to provide content for actually the users, and that's when the users really benefit, and that's something we've taken into consideration. AfroSocio has come up with a way of entertainment. I mean, you can have music played online, you can have wallpapers, you can have applications, you can have games.
But how does this model work?
One thing I didn't mention earlier, one of our other services is streamlining or connecting radio stations and TV stations, local ones, onto the internet so that they can stream live onto the internet, either through their website or through our social network. And as I speak, some of these things are already being developed in AfroSocio, like streaming TV station and radio station. In a very near future, someone will be able to stream a radio station live within AfroSocio, so as well as TV.
While his business has started making money, especially the offline service docket, this is, however, not coming easy.
And here is funding. You really need, if we had the reasonable funding, we would be ahead. But that's another. Then the other problem is infrastructure. We have an infrastructure that still has a lot missing. In the telecom, I mean, in terms of internet, bandwidth is still very expensive, and compared to you know, the rates in maybe in the Western world, then it's always on and off.
Despite such challenges, a number of factors have helped to keep Nsereko going and indeed strong in business.
Passion for what you do. If you love what you do, I mean, you always have guts to go after it. Then the other I would say is I have this attitude of solving people's problems, and that keeps you going. If you solve someone's problem, and besides the payment, they come and say thank you very much, that's very, very, very good. Recently, we just set up an IT center in Rila, and we're very proud and happy when the gentleman, the director, called and just said thank you very much. I'm receiving a lot of appreciation for the work you do.